Made the big plays at the right moments and hung on to win 5-4. Last night, the Nats used speed to set the table and then let the ace take care of the rest. Tonight, Steven Strasburg faces John Lackey. So, choose a side and settle in for Game 3. It's another absolutely great baseball night in D.C. Temperature's fantastic. A lot of Cubby fans in town, a lot of Nats fans trying to shout them down. And at least the series is back even now after the Nats were able to run their way to a win last night. We're talking about all the thunder in these lineups. One homer the whole series. Last night, a ton of stolen bases.
When we talk about the lineup, it can find different ways to beat you. And you saw the speed, the small ball on display last night. The Nats don't live and die by the home run alone.
Trey Turner was amazing, 4 of his own. But it all starts with pitching, as we well know. Now, Max, the ace, right, last night. Steven Strasburg, another ace going tonight. And look at the ranks as far as the starting rotation.
I like all the ranks but the top one. You don't want to be first in pitches per game, and the Nats have been extended because of some issues with the bullpen and some low-stress innings, to be quite honest, but the rest is very, very impressive.
The Nats do need Steven Strasburg, maybe to get off to a better start than he did last time out. It's a lot cooler at the ballpark tonight than it was on Friday, and maybe pitch a little deeper into his start.
Now, he's made 8 starts of at least 7 innings this year. Dusty Baker looking for a long one from Steven here tonight. The first inning's been a bugaboo lately. He gave up 4 runs in the first last start, so we'll keep an eye on how he gets out of the blocks.
Yeah, he could put the Nats up in this series. Trey Turner's been up and all over the bases. 5 games on the homestand, hitting .455 and nearly .320 his last 30 ball games. Trey has been a true table setter lately. The speed is dynamic, and he will be leading off after Strasburg faces the Cubs. Straight ahead. Well, they might have a W flag in Chicago, but so do we. It's a Curly W. Nats dugout as we get ready for this one on a beautiful evening. Clear skies, a little haze above, 82 degrees. Humidity up a little bit. Ball might be carrying a little better. Anthony Rizzo this month hitting .329 in 25 ball games. Back in that #1 spot. Nats have pitched him pretty well in this series. 1 for 7 with an RBI, a walk hit by a pitch. Wilson Contreras on the heels of some Cubby controversy back in the lineup tonight. More on that later. And it'll be Steven Strasburg, 5th career start against Chicago. 0-1, but a very good 1.95 ERA.
Well, we see the Arsenal fastball this year averaging 96, slider 90, changeup 89, curve 82. Allowed 4 in the first last start, then settled in to allow the Nats to come back to a 6-5 win against the Reds. That was on the 23rd. So here we go, play ball.
7:06, first pitch. And Strasburg slides one in there for a strike. You can't just throw a fastball down the middle to this leadoff guy. Rizzo, 2 for 10 career against Steven. And the 97 for strike 2. (8-2), 3.57 ERA. And a 1-2-3 at bat right there as Strasburg blows away Rizzo.
He might have blew him away with the changeup, Carp. 92. And that's fine to say that because whose changeup is 92? He'll feather the 88, 89 in there for a strike early in the count. Then he throws it as hard as he can with 2 strikes. So that's how this one starts. A strikeout of Anthony Rizzo on a 92-mile-an-hour changeup from Steven Strasburg. Wow.
Yeah, I got that from Don Sutton years ago. He used to call guys like that overpowering changeups. Chris Bryant goes up there, first pitch swinging, didn't hit it hard, perfectly placed, and he's 2 for 8 in the series.
The same lineup for Dusty. Matt Wieters behind the plate.
Nats defense tied with the Cubs in fielding percentage, 5th in the league. Nats have 3 fewer errors than Chicago. And their second baseman, Ian Happ, who was at second base 2 nights ago, at center field last night. Joe Maddon has the most fluid lineup and defensive alignment in baseball. Fastball popping. 18-year veteran Tim Timmons gets to call some of those tonight. Chad Fairchild at first, David Rackley at second, and there's the crew chief, Larry Vanover, third base.
Coming out free and easy early. My parents are here from California. And they can't believe this weather. I told them, yeah, it's always low.
Always like this.
Low 80s, upper 70s with no humidity this time of year. It's always like this. I mean, where else would you rather be? Cubs, Nats, beautiful weather, summer at the yard.
Another good pitching matchup tonight. Wieters stands up to grab that one.
I thought there'd be monster crowds for this series. Hasn't been the case yet.
29,651 Monday, 31,202 last night. Ian Happ, 10 homers, 23 RBIs, 240 from the left side. And this one in the air, Brian Goodwin drifting, foul ground, plenty of room for the second out. Well, here comes Wilson Contreras. His pickoff of Trey Turner was a big play in the 3rd inning in the game on Monday night. He does have 10 errors, so sometimes the throws aren't always on target. And catchers throwing, FP, big story for the Cubs now after what happened today between their other catcher, Miguel Montero, who's now designated for assignment, and the ball club.
Everybody trying to find fault with Trey Turner stealing 4 bases and Nat stealing 7 bases last night. Miguel Montero just saying what he thought in his locker. You usually don't hear that. It's funny, we want our athletes to be candid, and when they are, they get in trouble. I mean, everything he said was right. You just don't hear guys say that about other teammates.
Correct. That ball's hit pretty well to right. Bryce Harper drifting for it. And Steven Strasburg, 1 hit, not that hard hit, and a big 0 on the board in the first inning. Here come the Nats now against John Lackey. Brought to you by PNC Bank, for the achiever in you. By visitannapolis.org. Create your moment at visitannapolis.org. And by the Virginia Lottery. Look for the game of the summer, the Corvette and Cash Scratcher from the Virginia Lottery. Strasburg, 10 pitches, 9 strikes. First pitch strikes to all 4 batters. Good start for him. Turner, Goodwin, there they are. Here are the rest of the Nats, including that number 8 guy who's really hot. Michael A. Taylor having another great series. 4 for 8, 2 batted in, couple of steals, and batting .500 on this homestand. And if you take it out a little bit farther, he's 20 for his last 50, batting .400. John Lackey's 7th career start against the Nats, 2-0.
There's the Arsenal fastball 90, L2 seam, it'll cut it. Slider 83, curveball 78, changeup is 84 on average. 16th start for John. Took the last start, tough luck loss on the 23rd at Miami. Gave up just 2 runs on 3 hits over 6. Struck out 4, walked 2. Marlins threw 91 pitches last start, 64 for strikes.
And throws more first pitch strikes than anybody in the National League.
With a lot of plate, I heard. You got to be ready to hit tonight if you're in that.
Yeah, 68%. And Trey Turner evidently was given that number by someone. Missing. It was close. So Trey in this series, 3 for 8, 2 walks, 4 steals, 2 runs. Facing Lackey for the first time. So's Goodwin. Then the rest of the lineup, as far as the position players, have faced this long-time big leaguer. Goodwin next, 2 for 8 in the series, a couple of walks. And Turner, fly ball to right. Zagunis took him a while to come in, and plenty of time for the first down.
A D for the Cubbies. J. Almora Jr. Zagunis, the outfield. Baez, Bryant, left side. Happy, Rizzo, right side. Wilson Contreras behind the plate.
When he picked off Trey Turner 2 nights ago, it was his eighth career pickoff. So he likes to fling it around. He's 30% caught stealing for Joe Maddon. And the Cubs called up rookie catcher Victor Caratini today, a switch hitting catcher, to replace Montero.
Talked to Joe before the game today, and he was saying that he believes in freedom of speech, but that you have to be able to filter what you're going to say in certain situations. And he was talking about Miguel Montero's comments after the game last night.
Goodwin a flare, short left field, and then plenty of time for John Jay to get there. Anthony Rizzo had a lot to say about it, quoted all over the country this morning. This is the succinct version about pointing fingers at a teammate. And he's referring to the guy behind the plate, Contreras, tonight, who can throw people out.
Yeah, a few minutes later, Miguel Montero is gone. Here's the short of it. Bench players are to be seen and not heard. You can play a long time in the big leagues if you just do your job once, twice a week and have nothing to say. But it was the second or third time that Miguel Montero has kind of said stuff. After the parade last year, he had quotes saying that he wasn't happy how he was used in the playoffs of the World Series. Right. So they had enough, and see ya.
Yeah, Montero played in 86 games last year, 44 this year. So here's Bryce. He's 0 for 9 career, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts against John Lackey. They don't shift on Bryce against the right-hander, playing it pretty well straight up.
Should be a launch mode swing here by Bryce if it's anything firm out over the plate.
He launches one. Low screamer to the scoreboard for Bryce Harper. Another extra base hit, and he's now hit safely in 18 of his last 20 games.
Well, there goes a no-hitter, Bryce Harper style in the first inning. A 2-0 fastball from John Lackey, and maybe low enough to stay in the ballpark. Bryce got underneath it to lift it into the gap for a 2-out double. Beautiful swing. Head was still. Loud sound. Hustles into second. Now Ryan Zimmerman trying to put that whole Cubs thing to rest right here, right now with one swing.
Yeah, Ryan 0 for 8 in the series with a walk. That would be a great thing to take care of early in the strike call up in the zone.
Well, sometimes there's certain teams you just don't play well against, and you can't put a finger on it. Psychologically, it gets deep into your mind. And then what happens, Carp, is you try really hard to change it, and it gets worse. Like, I'm going to show these guys. And then sometimes it goes the other way. Had some good swings last night, though. Nothing to show for it.
Right. Long look at Harper. Nobody's near Bryce. Zimmerman's going to drop one into left center. And that takes care of that. A clutch 2-out RBI hit. 1-0 Washington, and finally number 60 for Ryan Zimmerman.
Well, there you go. A little two-seam fastball, barrel's overrated, maybe got a little bit of label, but you see him get underneath the ball. A little launch angle there for Ryan. Not a ground ball to short. He hit it over Javier Baez's head. Clutch 2-out knock, 1-0 Nats.
Yeah, just to get a couple of hits early against Lackey, a good thing. Last couple of times out, he's allowed 3 or fewer hits. So here's Murphy. Strike call. Contreras a fake throw to first, and Bryce, after Bryce scored, Zimmerman scrambling back there. Now a visit from Davey Lopes. And he showed us the other night he can throw right around to a left-handed batter. Looks like Jock Jones is coaching first base tonight.
Hope Davey's all right.
Yeah. Johnny Holiday had Davey on the Nats Extra pregame show.
Well, there you go.
Murphy way out ahead.
He did get hit with that line drive. If you want me to speculate. Nats don't reveal injuries of their first base coaches till after the game, so.
Oh, we hope Davey's okay. Maybe he and Johnny are still talking. 0-2 to Murph. Ian Happ, the second baseman, about 10 feet out into right field. By the way, that was Ryan Zimmerman's 90th hit of the year. Murphy sitting on 97.
So there's your two leading candidates for All-Star first baseman. Vote for the guy on the left right now if you get a chance.
Hey, he's 1 for 1 tonight.
Yeah, he is.
Other guy's hitless.
That's right. So there they are. There's 1 and 2 in the National League voting for first baseman. And we got to make sure the guy in the white uniform wins. So whatever you're doing right now, go to your computer and vote for Ryan.
Well, basically no comparison between their numbers. Batting average, huge disparity. Ryan, 2 homers more, 11 RBIs more. After a sprint to the mound by Contreras, Murphy's going to pull one right out to Ian Happ in right field. And the Nats will pick up a run. 2 out Lightning. Harper double. Zimmerman single. 1-0.
For the last 2.5 weeks with a stiff lower back, but he revealed earlier today that the issue that he's currently dealing with is severe inflammation in the rotator cuff of his right shoulder. Cota said that he was pitching through some discomfort in that shoulder prior to the Nats West Coast trip recently. Didn't think it was too severe, so he thought he'd pitch through it. He thinks now that overcompensating for that discomfort led to his back giving out on a recent homestand. Then the morning after the back issue, Glover says he couldn't even lift his arm, indicating the shoulder was a bigger problem than he thought. He's frustrated right now, obviously. He admits he's still learning when to pitch through discomfort and when to shut it down. And he'll need to rest a bit longer, guys, before starting to build his arm back up.
Yeah, that's a blow. Thanks, Dan, with our Coons.com sideline report. Over 2 million vehicles sold and counting. John Jay, top of the second. Tardy swing for 96. In the series, Jay 0 for 4, couple of double play balls off his bat. 1 for 7 career against Steven. and some gas upstairs for strikeout number 2. When you have insight, you know how to handle your finances with confidence. Brought to you by PNC Bank, for the achiever in you. Well, time will tell about Francisco Rodriguez. Nats have signed K-Rod. 437 career saves, number 4 in the all-time list. Great career numbers, but how is he throwing now at the age of 35? We'll find out. Javier Baez. Steven Strasburg throwing a lot of first pitch strikes so far. 1-1. Baez hitless last night. His hitting streak came to an end of 8 games. A variety of different pitches for strikes so far.
That buckled Javier Baez right there. You see him kind of flinch at it, back out, and it came back for a strike. Give you an idea how much that's breaking.
1-2 now. I mean, Baez looked like he had no interest in that pitch at all, and didn't miss by much.
He was taken all the way, didn't it?
Sure did. Swing and a miss. Just trying to put the ball in play, right? I mean, took the air out of the ballpark on that swing, and Strasburg has 3.
Well, I mean, Stevens got the good fastball tonight. That was 97. It's very effortless. It's free and easy. The command is there with the heater, and he's dropping the curveball in for a strike, throwing it for a ball, and then the turbo change with 2 strikes. All weapons on display here early from Steven Strasburg.
Albert Almora Jr. started Monday night in center field, back out there tonight. In the series, a hit, 3 walks, and RBI. '98 in the early going.
But you remember his last start against the Reds? He was sweating to death out there.
Wow. It's a cooler night, but Strasburg is heating things up. So he strikes out the side. 4 out of the 6 outs. First up, John Jay. High gas, gone. Baez, too late. Big hook. See you, Albert.
Jake Arrieta and Miguel Montero. Trey Turner, we timed it, was 3.5 seconds on this steal. From the time he took off to the time he hit the bag. Jake Arrieta was 1.6 seconds to the plate, and then Miguel Montero was 2.1 seconds on his throw. So you got 3.5 top of your screen, 3.7 total between the pitcher and the catcher, and that's why Trey Turner was able to steal that base by about 0.2 seconds. So that's how it works. You get the times from your first base coach. I think you steal off the pitcher, and I think everything Miguel Montero said last night was absolutely correct. Jake Arrieta didn't give him a chance to throw out Trey Turner, but that just kind of gives you the math of how a steal is thought of, whether you're going to go, whether you're not going to go. And Arrieta was very deliberate. We had him at 1.7 on a steal last night with no throw, 1.65, and even 1.9 on a Michael A. Taylor steal. So, yeah, I don't care if Johnny Bench is back there. It's going to be tough to throw out Trey Turner with those times.
Well done, guys. Well done, FP. Bottom 2. Here's Rendon. Strike 1. Anthony, 327 his last 30 games. 1 for 7 against John Lackey. He waited for one, and it is gone. See you later. 2-0 Nats on Rendon's 15th. First Nationals homer of this series.
Tell you what, the way Steven Strasburg's pitching early in this one, that too looks big.
RBI number 48. Rendon will be the next to 50. Here's Matt Wieters, who has 7 career hits against Lackey. They know each other well. 34 at bats, the matchup here. 118 for the league leading Nationals in that home run department. And Wieters jacks one to center. Almora back, and see you later.
Not too many lineups in Major League Baseball are this deadly toward the bottom. And now you got to deal with Michael A. Taylor, who's as hot as anybody right now. So back-to-back jacks. Couple shots at Jack, please. 3-0 Nats.
I think Michael Taylor wanted to hack, but that was upstairs. Ball 1. Matt Wieters' first homer in 12 days. That was at New York against Steven Matz. 3-0 Nationals, and Taylor fouls one. 1-1.
That was almost 3 in a row with that swing.
Ball 2. John Lackey flirting with disaster with fastballs up to this club. He's given up 23 home runs now, tying him with Bronson Arroyo of the Reds for the most in the National League. In fact, that ties as well Ricky Nolasco of the Angels most in the majors.
Well, if he can't get that last pitch, he's in trouble. I mean, that was a good low fastball. Didn't get the strike.
3-1, so 23 all of last year, and he's already there here in 17.
But he's a guy that challenges the plate a lot. You know, even though he throws 92, 93, he throws a lot of balls belt high, center cut. And it's more about his makeup than anything. He likes to go after guys, and a lot of times when you do that, you pay.
3-2 pitch. Popped up. Right field line. Rizzo has a beat on it. Foul ball when he catches it for the first down.
All right, show me some taters, boys. Here's the first one. Look at him stay on that curveball. Beautiful swing by Anthony. His 15th home run of the year. And then you got Jock Jones filling in at first base for Davey Lopes. How'd the high five go at first when they were running by? How'd that go? Whoops. Maybe you need to practice that one a little more, Jock.
Strasburg with a base hit. Well, that's the only thing they're fanning on right now.
Hey. Oh, that's right. Matt Wieters hit a home run too, number 7. Albert Almora Jr. gave this one a pretty good effort, hit the wall hard. So back-to-back jacks, 3-0.
The Nationals go 5 for 9 the first time around the order. Here's Trey. Another base hit. So Strasburg got his 5th of the year, Turner his 4th of this series, and the Nationals bats are making loud noises at the yard right now. Now they're 6 for 10.
A nice swing right here by Trey. A lot of barrels being hit this inning. Steven Strasburg with a beautiful swing. Now Trey Turner after a couple of home runs.
Goodwin fly ball left field first time. Well, we talked about Lackey, a lot of first pitch strikes, but the Nats are on him early in the counts here.
How about Steven Strasburg in front of Trey Turner? Trey needs a carpool lane.
There's a gapper. He'll be talking in Steven's ear between third and home. Great swing by our starter tonight. 1-1 to Goodwin. Wild pitch. That's huge. Second and third now with just 1 out.
390 feet, 390 feet. Thank you very much. Joe Madden tells his infield to play halfway because of Steven Strasburg's speed. At third, did you see a big spot of dirt on that baseball in the Exmo before it got to home? I thought I did.
Nobody reads lips or baseballs better than you.
I saw a scuff or some dirt on that ball as it was tumbling toward home. Like maybe it hit the dirt previously.
Well, now counting his favor, Goodwin looking for something to elevate and drive. He'll take that low pitch and go 3-1.
Got a base open here. The guy on deck can't hurt you.
You think that you weren't watching his first at bat tonight. Bryce gashed a double to the scoreboard. Zimmerman drove him in. 3-1 to Goodwin. And Lackey a step off.
I'll tell you what, if I'm Brian Goodwin right now, I know I'm getting the pitch. I mean, unless John Lackey totally lost it here. Bryce Harper on deck, second, third, 1 out. I'm getting something with a lot of plate. I'm being aggressive here if I'm Brian Goodwin.
And he takes it, loading the bases. Lackey threw him a pitch cutting in on him. And Bryce Harper bats with the bases loaded.
He threw him a 3-1 slider with Bryce Harper on deck. I'm shocked at the pitch selection. As a hitter hitting in front of a former MVP, you're thinking I'm getting a heater there no matter what.
Yeah.
So good take by Brian Goodwin to get it to Bryce Harper.
Now Bryce gave the Nats that 2-out lightning in the first. Off the glove of Contreras, and Strasburg doesn't score.
Is that a cross up? Had to be, right? I mean, he stabbed at that thing as it was going by him. And Steven Strasburg didn't see it, didn't get a jump, and I think if you ask Bryce Harper right now, he's okay with this.
First base would have been open.
He wants to drive everybody in.
I mean, everybody would have moved up had Strasburg scored there.
And they might have walked Bryce.
So it's a crazy ball one. Ball two.
Launch mode. Here you go. Has to throw a strike. Bases loaded. Where's he going to put him? Heads up in the trapeze school.
You just made me look over there.
See a bunch of people flipping out.
2-0 to Harper. Lackey a long pause. Bryce getting time from Tim Timmons. Off speed, 3-0.
I don't remember Bryce swinging 3-0 very often, but if you ever did, it's right here, right now. And just don't try to do too much. Easy to say up here, all nice and calm. Just touch it with your barrel and watch it go.
Huge opportunity to bust it early here. Why swing? Ball four, and it's 4-0. Now Strasburg gets to walk home, and he'll get a breather. Turner to third. Goodwin to second. And for Bryce, RBI number 57.
Rio curveball with the bases loaded.
Well, you marveled at the 3-ball slider to Brian Goodwin.
To me, that's the whole inning. I know that, well, there's some home runs and some singles, but if you want to get out of that, you got to challenge Brian Goodwin there. And right now, John Lackey's not pitching like John Lackey. He's usually a guy that'll challenge you. Right now, he's throwing all off speed.
Ryan Zimmerman has collected his 60th RBI already tonight. 5 for 13 career against Lackey with 3 batted in. Ground ball left side. Dropped by Bryant. Safe at first. And it's 5-0. Cubs had a chance to be out of the inning. Another RBI for Zimmerman on the E5.
I'll tell you what, you walk a couple guys, you're not on your toes on defense, right? Almost had it on the in-between hop, popped out of his glove, and good hustle by Ryan Zimmerman, boogieing down the line. Look how far inside he is right there.
Murphy to the corner. Foul.
Boy, fans can smell it right now, can't they? How close is this?
A foot, maybe a foot and a half. Daniel Murphy, the 9th National to bat in the inning.
Place is rocking right now. There you go. Get crazy.
Murphy hooking again. Foul, and it's 0-2.
The crowd is into it, man. We should replay the noise of the crowd right there in those last two. Tons of action here in the second. Tons.
That's the masters of the big crooked number this year. 0-2 to Murphy. John Lackey, not a strikeout guy per se. 81 Ks on the year in right around 89 innings.
This team smells blood, don't they? Like no other I've seen since I've been here. They get a guy on the ropes, they know how to knock him out.
Murphy taking an 0-2 over the plate like it's nothing. Murphy 400 this year with runners in scoring position. And he takes another one down there. 2-2.
You see what he did after the pitch? He didn't like the way he took the pitch. That's how in-depth his at-bats are. That's how high the focus and concentration level is right now for Daniel Murphy. He didn't like the way he went after that, the way his hands started. So he corrected it after the pitch.
From 0-2 to 2-2. And Murphy a bouncer. Cubs have to turn 2 for their sake here. And they do. 9 Nationals bat, 4 score. And it's 5-0 after 2. Rendon, launch mode. Wieters, straightaway mode. And the Nats went on to score a couple more.
Already Nationals. Just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, look forward to Miller time later in the ballgame. And is brought to you by Miller Lite. Could be the Miller moment. We'll see. Lots of baseball left.
John Lackey batting 8th, as the Cubs starter usually does, takes a strike.
That was taken all the way to a whole new level. He didn't even have a hand on the bat.
5 for 29 this year. Lackey, Zagunis, and Rizzo. Here's the right fielder, Mark Zagunis. Lackey, serious wood on that one. Wow. Big wow on the ratio there.
Yeah, wow on the stuff too.
1 ball and 2 strikes. And the curveball freezes the opposing pitcher. Steven Strasburg, 4 consecutive strikeouts and 5 in the game.
Washington area Toyota dealers help children and their families by making a $37 donation to the Children's Inn at NIH for every strikeout. by a Nats pitcher this season. So 37 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. $500,000 so far tonight.
Every pitcher has, or every batter has been behind Strasburg here, and there's another first pitch strike. Right fielder Zagunis. Can't be too comfortable with those fastballs inside on the Nissan pitch cast.
Close.
Yeah. Looked like it should have been 0-2 before that pitch. Then he's dropping in the 84 with lots of hook on it. 2-2. Anthony Rizzo struck out on 3 pitches to start the game.
Zagunis sounds like a hockey player that's going to come out and hit you and then maybe fight you.
Well, they know him well at Virginia Tech. One of their alums in the big leagues now. 2-2. Uncertain swing, and he's gone. Quick tag by Wieters. First time around the lineup, the Cubs go 1 for 8 with a Chris Bryant soft single and 6 strikeouts.
Yeah, I'm already doing the math in my head. I am. So 33 pitches, 6 strikeouts, 3rd inning.
Steven Strasburg now 115 Ks on the year. Started the night 8th in the league with 109. Also the 8th hardest guy in the league to hit at 225. That's nasty.
Well, we talked
That's
about,
change-up.
excuse me, Carp, we talked about it last night with Max. Didn't have his A+ stuff, but he found a way, right? He's always going to find a way to beat you, even when he doesn't have his great stuff. Tonight, Steven has his great stuff. So the opposite in stuff between Max and Steven in the last 2 nights. Now how this develops and moves forward, we'll see. But yeah, he doesn't have to deal with the humidity like he had to last time. The sweat factor, the grip on the baseball that he'd never talk about after a game, but you could see it with our Exmo. I mean, everything electric here. Everything.
Some nights Mike Mannix probably feels like he's got a great sports car on cruise control and he's on the Autobahn. Going as fast as he wants. Here's Strasburg, who has topped out at 98. There's 97. 7 strikeouts of the 9 outs tonight. Day with us right here. Tuesday, Nationals Park Independence Day, part of the Patriotic Series, presented by SAIC. Nats, Mets, first pitch 11:05. Visit nationals.com/tickets. All Nationals 5-0. She's ready for the 4th of July.
America. Washington, D.C. Lexus dealers donate $250 to the Children's National Health System for the first 200 home runs the Nats hit this season. Lexus, experience amazing. They getting close? What do they got now? Home runs on the year, Coach.
119. Thanks to this guy and the guy behind him. Anthony Rendon's second career homer against John Lackey. Lackey, first 2 innings, 45 pitches. Staying away from that pull side, isn't he? 3-1. Anthony now just over 30 ball games, 10 homers, 25 RBIs. He bangs another one, this out to center. Almora misjudged it, and it's beyond his reach. It's near the notch out there, and Rendon will pull in with a double. Albert Almora. Well, I'll let you break down the route because you're the center fielder in the booth.
Well, I just think he got caught thinking this was a routine fly ball. Watch him. He gets a good jump and then he just cruises over like this is routine and then says, uh-oh, that ball's got another gear. So he had to kind of do the L route or the reverse L route, give with it, and tried the backhand at the end. So that was pitch number 50 by John Lackey. Buster Olney just messaged me on Twitter and said the Nats haven't had a swing and miss yet tonight in 50 pitches.
Wow.
That's 51 right there without a swing and miss. Thanks, Buster.
It's great when the 4-letter networks stick together. Waiters a home run straight away, and Rendon 6 total bases already tonight. Whoa, way upstairs, and Contreras scrambling and reaching.
So do you think after 7 stolen bases last night, Davey Lopes just went mic drop and said, my work here is done?
We understand Davey's feeling okay, and we're glad to hear that.
I'm good. 7 stolen bases. I can't do that back to back. Mic drop. See you tomorrow.
Possible right shoulder problems from pointing to second base. Lackey's going to step off for the, 4th time tonight? Seven Washington hits. That'll be a nice at bat to advance Rendon to third with 1 out. Matt Wieters will get some knucks in the dugout for that. Inside the Numbers brought to you by G. Look at this. Since the Nats came from Montreal in 05, 82 games. They have split it right down the middle. Look at the runs per game. Batting average not that far apart. The homers are close, and the ERA ridiculously close. Amazing. Yeah, that's the equivalent of an entire half season of baseball.
Well, I'll tell you what, in the 90s, the Cubs were the team, mid to late 90s that you got well against. When you played them in Chicago, they didn't have the greatest starting rotation ever. And you had fun playing them. Hasn't been the case recently, obviously, with their success, but back in the day, that was the team you liked to play.
So the infield in, Taylor hacks one in the air. Into the 8 o'clock hour. Goodness gracious, the 7 o'clock hour was really good to the Nats. 5 runs on 7 hits already. 2 walks. An error by Kris Bryant. And a 1-1 to Taylor here. He will elevate. Deep enough for Rendon. Should be. Throw launched by Almora. 6-0. Michael A. Taylor, 33rd RBI and his 3rd of this series.
So this is what we're talking about. This offense can beat you in different ways. You've seen the Tater already tonight. You saw small ball and stolen bases last night. Tonight you're seeing all of it on display. This is a get him on, get him over, get him in, old school National League inning right here. So a leadoff double, a ground ball to second, a sac fly. These are the ways this offense can beat you. It's not always just with home runs.
Dusty liking the execution from his numbers 7 and 8 hitters after the double. Strasburg a base hit to right, extremely hard hit first time. 1-1. Steven pretty economical. 38 pitches, 30 strikes. That one cutting outside, 2-2. So Lackey's going to be over 60 when he returns to the dugout. Strasburg, another well hit ball. Ian Happ right there. Good job of adding on. The Nats have scored in each inning. Through 3, it's 6-0.
Anthony Rendon, solo Tater. Matt Wieters right behind him, a solo Tater. And Steven Strasburg has been pretty much unhittable in this one. So go back to the second innings. Anthony Rendon, number 15 on the year. StatCast powered by AWS. 108 miles an hour, 24 degrees, 423 feet. It's a nice Tater. So how about 2 shots at Jack, please? Here's the second one. Matt Wieters, 99.9, 403 feet. Almora Jr. crashes hard into the wall. So when you get down to 6, 7, and 8, you ain't done yet with this lineup.
Yeah. How about 3 hits, 3 RBIs, 2 homers, 3 runs scored from those 3. Kris Bryant has the Cubs' only hit. One out single up the middle in the first. Strasburg 8 in a row since then, and 6 on strikes. That ball hit hard. One hops to the right of the 336. Well played by Goodwin, but Bryant, who came into this game 1 for 7 against the Nats, now 3 for 9. Bryant, by the way, came into this game hitting .215 in June, 17 for 79. So the Cubs need him. Here's Ian Happ. Up there hacking, fouled out down the left field line to Brian Goodwin, first time.
So a lot of hubbub on the internet last night about a picture Bryce posted with Chris Bryant. Had both their wives in it, and he hashtagged it back to back one day, and everybody flipped out. But if you look at it, there's a bunch of Drake references in the comment in his Instagram. It says, "What a time to be alive," and "back to back one day." Those are both Drake songs. So I didn't think it was all that bad, and maybe he wants to hit back to back one day with his buddy from Vegas, and he thinks it'd be awesome. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And who knows where back to back is? Could be in Chicago, could be in DC, could be in New York, who knows? But everybody lost their mind because of a hashtag that Bryce put on his Instagram last night.
Could be at the All-Star game.
I think people just go on social media to lose their mind, period. That's what it's about, right? You go on and you just lose your mind. Just get mad at something.
2-1 pitch to Happ, in there.
Hey, what are you doing? I don't know, I'm kind of bored. Let's go on social media and get really mad at somebody. All right, that sounds awesome.
Swing and a miss on 96 upstairs. Strikeout number 8. Mercedes-Benz on the pitch cast.
Yeah, on the nights when Steven has his A+ stuff, the thing I marvel at is his ability to throw the ball out of the strike zone. You know, he has total command. So he'll throw the curveball for a strike and then throw it out of the zone. He'll throw the fastball for a strike, then throw it out of the zone. Just basically a video game, put it wherever he wants.
Here's Contreras. Tried to go front door with that hook and it stayed in. Or did it? Tim Timmons got it right. Very close. That's a breaking ball, hit a mile to left, and the Cubs are on the board. Contreras is 9th of the year.
Very celebratory home run shot. Got the curveball kind of sitting there for a second. Looked like he was sitting on it. Watch him keep his hands back just a hair. Hit it high, hit it far. And then liked it a lot. There's a little crow hop coming around third. A little hop before the plate, and he was real happy about it. I guess you hit a home run on Steven Strasburg, you should be, but hey, that's the game today.
Cubs 103rd homer of the year. They're 6th in the league in that department. Strasburg just gave up his 11th. John Jay got a first pitch changeup. Then the fastball misses.
High far home run, and he kind of stopped before third. He's happy.
1 ball and 2 strikes with 1 out, 4th inning. Changeup.
Guarantee access to the 2017 postseason if the Nats make it. 2018 All-Star game with a small initial payment on Nats Plus season plan. I had to unjinx that because that's a jinx every time we read it. Act by July 21st for the best seats. Visit nationals.com/2018 to learn more. If the Nats make the postseason, it's not guaranteed. But if they do, you guarantee yourself a spot.
Bouncer up the middle. Turner times it to the bag, and a 6-3 double play puts an end to the 4th inning. Bryant double, Contreras homer. Cubs get a couple. Nats still lead by 4. Lots to do up bottom of the 4th inning, and it's Trey Turner 1 for 2 already with a run scored tonight. Having a wild running series and swinging the bat pretty well.
Watching his second 4 stolen base game last night in a 2-week span. And he said after the game that he actually doesn't look as much at catchers' times or tendencies as he is studying what the pitcher's doing, their times and moves, which is kind of interesting after hearing Miguel Montero's comments last night. And Trey has said that first base coach Davey Lopes is constantly pushing him to go. I asked him how Davey does that. He says it's not as much preemptive comments as it is Davey incredulously asking him, why are you still here when he doesn't run? And then Trey has to explain himself. He said, guys, he could have gone for more in that 8th inning after reaching in a 5-run game, but he kind of sheepishly said he didn't want to violate any unwritten rules.
All right, Dan, thanks. Over 2 million vehicles sold and counting. Coons.com with our sideline report. Lackey changing speeds, and it's 0-2, bottom of the 4th.
So we were wondering last night, the up by 5, if that was going to be a difference. And Dan, Bob says that to me every inning, every night. Why are you still here? And I don't know what he means, but maybe it's the whole Davey Lopes thing.
We kid because we care. Upstairs, 1-2. By the way, Dan had a report last night about Max Scherzer, the percentage of games where he takes no hitters, into the 5th or 6th inning. Had a couple of people ask me, well, why did Dan do that? Well, we can't do that report when he has a no hitter going because the jinx is on.
Yeah.
So Dan picked his spot. And it took me a minute, I have to admit, to figure that out last night. And, you know, the crew nurses us along in situations like that where it takes some thought. And So, Dan, that was well done last night.
Yeah, we never want to be the reason the other team gets a hit.
Yeah.
Ever.
Turner hit it well, but John Jay, a lot of left fielders in this ballpark play way off the line out toward that bullpen, and that's where Jay was positioned. 1 out, 4th inning. This game on Masson brought to you by FH Fur. Absolutely the best.
So I'm being told by a Cubs fan on Twitter that that's Wilson's normal home run trot. So thanks. And he was nice about it, the Cubs fan on Twitter. So thank you.
Yeah, that makes it even better.
Didn't say anything about
Did you tell him see you in October?
He didn't say anything about my parents or what I need to do or anything. He's very nice. So thank you.
It can be done. 0-1 to Goodwin. No swings. According to Larry Vanover, counts even 1-1. John Lackey on a little streak here where for the first time tonight he's retired more than 2 batters in a row. He's made it through 4. One of those a sac fly. The one before that a productive ground ball by Wieters. 2-1. Harper on deck, bottom of the 4th.
So if my normal home run trot is doing cartwheels around the bases, or maybe the Ozzie Smith flip trot, is that cool?
That's too much. No.
Well, if it's my normal home run trot,
well,
I mean,
good luck with your ribs. I'll put it that way.
I never had one. I'm just saying. Barrel rolls all the way around the bases. Is that cool if that's my normal home run trot? Light up a cigar around third. I mean, it's going to get to that someday the way we're going, right? Just pull a bottle of champagne out around second, pop the cork and pour it on your head.
Foul tip. Yeah, we'll be stat tracking trips around the bases. Bryce has had a good night. Double. Bases loaded walk. Strike 3 called to Goodwin. 5 in a row for Lackey. His first strikeout tonight. Nissan tracks it.
Yeah, nice pitch. Probably the best pitch John Lackey's thrown tonight. Little front hit fastball. Came back for a strike.
Harper stings one to right. Great play, Rizzo. Lackey there for the throw. Outstanding. Have the Cubs grabbed a little momentum? We shall see. Strasburg back to work. They get a couple, and then Rizzo saves a base hit right there. Is brought to you by the all-wheel drive RAV4 Toyota. What drives you? Visit buyatoyota.com for great deals. A lot of traffic on the concourse. 2-3-1 Cubs, but 6-7-0 Nats. Almora, Lackey, and Zagunis now top 5. It's kind of odd every time I look at the scorebook and you have the pitcher batting 8th. It's almost like facing 7, 9, and 8.
You should just say that.
Pitcher in the middle. That ball is cranked. It's going to stay in. One hops the wall out there. And the Cubs, after being down 6-0, are starting to hit the ball against Steven Strasburg, and hard.
A fastball up, elevated belt tie, had a little run to it on the inner half. Good swing, short, compact swing, and ball carrying here tonight, big time.
It is.
So back-to-back leadoff doubles for the Cubs. Chris Bryant in the 4th, and now Almora Jr. in the 5th.
We thought the ball might when we saw the humidity up about 20% from last night. John Lackey didn't really show any signs of squaring around there.
Yeah, he's swinging.
You would think they'd love to get that runner to third with one out and be able to cut the deficit in half from where they were an inning ago. Interesting. 1-1. John Lackey, 2 sacrifice bunts this year, 17 in his career, most of his big league time in the American League. He's had some rips his first time up before striking out looking.
Joe Madden knows his personnel better than we do. We see him play 6 times a year, and maybe John Lackey's more comfortable swinging here instead of bunting.
Wow, that's nasty. 84 on the curveball. Steven Strasburg, strikeout number 9. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit Geico.com.
Is it good?
Well, Teddy, as usual, led for a while. Then for some reason he downshifted and Abe blows him away.
I didn't miss much.
So visit Geico.com to see how much you could save.
Is it National Segway Day? Probably.
And speaking of segues, here's Zagunis. Oh, those kind of segues.
You're the
Sorry.
king of segues. I can't even go there.
He struck out swinging first time. Oh, 2. Heater up. Rex Zagunis did some catching at Virginia Tech. He was a Johnny Bench Award finalist in his time there. Second team All-AC a couple of times. 3-time All-Academic. Native of Jersey. And Strasburg trying to put him away and possibly make it here to double-digit strikeouts in the 5th inning. The low, and Wieters keeps it close.
Today's National Paul Bunyan Day. I don't think Paul Bunyan ever wrote a Segway.
2-2. Busted bat. Zimmerman has to hustle to his left. Then he drops it. And now the runner from third coming home. And the Cubs get a gift.
Well, he had to go far to his left on this and then reach at the last second. So let's take a look at it again. Slider from Steven Strasburg, and then maybe took his eye off the ball before it went into his glove. Did you see him try to pick up the pitcher covering before the ball went into his glove? And that's where things got real weird. Yeah, he took his eye off it, just assumed it was going in his glove. There was a lot of spin on the baseball. It just hopped out. Good hustle by Almora Jr. to score right there. It's good base running.
I tell you, the plot thickens in a hurry because here's Rizzo. Strasburg has struck him out twice, but this is a different ball game than it was last time he was up there. Ryan Zimmerman's 9th error of the year, the Nats 49th. Oh, 1 pitch inside.
Remember, he's got a bad back diving for that ball. We had him sliding into third the other day and kind of wincing when he got up.
Foul tip by Rizzo. Close, and Rizzo able to stop his bat.
Chris Bryant having a nice night so far.
Two-two pitch with 1 out. Stopped it again. Anthony Rizzo has a great batting eye, 5th in the league with 48 walks. His on-base percentage right up around .390.
37 strikeouts on the year. You better believe this is a hit and run situation here.
How many power hitters you're pretty sure he's going to make contact? He does, up the middle, because the runner's going, no double play, but Turner playing up the middle, throws out Rizzo. Zagunis to second, 2 outs.
So Trey Turner already standing behind Steven. Good scouting, moving toward the bag with the runner moving. Now, do you want Chris Bryant or do you want Ian Happ? One guy's 2 for 2, the other guy's 0 for 2.
Ripping up there on 96, up and in.
challenging him. 2 fastballs, 1 in, 1 out.
Mercedes-Benz on the pitch cast, first 2. Swing and a miss on 83. Strasburg gets a couple of Ks in the inning with the curveball. Cubs pick up an unearned run. So halfway through, it's 6-3 Washington. Might be time for the offense to start making some more noise here. We go bottom 5, 6-3 game. Lackey, pitch number 75 coming. Ryan Zimmerman swings through a big hook. Ryan 1 for 2, 2 RBIs. And 61 on the year.
Swing and a miss by Brian Goodwin. Last inning was the first one of the night for John Lackey on pitch number 70.
Zimmerman hammers one to right. This ball's got distance to the edge of the track. Zagunas has it. Purchase your White House Historical Association membership right now. If you sign up in June, just a couple of days left, you receive a private meet and greet and a photo op with Hall of Famers Tim Raines and Pudge, plus 2 lower level tickets to a Nats game and the 2017 White House Christmas ornament. Go to whha.org/Nats to purchase today.
Speaking of the White House, did you see what Cubs co-owner Todd Ricketts said today to the president? We're going to run into these guys in the playoffs, and you'll come down and you'll see them crumble. Talking about the Cubs playing the Nats in the playoffs.
What's an owner thinking when he says something like that?
Got a lot of run in the Washington Post today, and maybe some players heard about it. I know the fans did.
Murphy high in the air to right center. See you later. It finally came down, and the Nats lead 7-3.
That's not crumbling.
That's a big add-on for Washington. Hits him a 4-run lead back.
Boy, he hits him high, doesn't he? My goodness. Just a majestic helium ball off the bat of Daniel Murphy for home run number 14 on the year.
So that's Murph's first since his 100th. Number 101, a towering blast. Here's Rendon, who's homered and doubled. And even as night falls here, that ball was in the air for a long, long time.
I just hope when the Nats finally win a World Series, we don't change. Look at him go down, get underneath that baseball, and hit it straight up in the air for home run number 14, and the ball is flying here tonight.
Good idea on the changeup, 1-1. So Daniel Murphy hit 25 last year. He's at 14. And after tonight, 3 games remain till the true halfway point of the season. And Rendon's going to turn and take that one right in the back.
Still evaluating that swing right now. He's thinking, why can't I do that every single time? Let's StatCast this because you know you want us to. Here's all the numbers. There's the red line thingy. It just crushed a fan. Did you see the red line crush the fan in the head? And there's home run number 14.
That's a laser. That's dangerous.
It is. I think it exploded him.
He pured it. So to Matt Wieters' first time up, straight away, 403 feet. Just to the right of the 402 mark. He's going to get jammed on one this time. And Chris Bryant, foul ground. Did he hit the bag and hurt his ankle there? What happened to Chris Bryant?
Oh. I mean, the Cubs have had so many injuries this year. Ben Zobrist, Jason Hayward. This is the last thing they want. And is it his knee?
It's P.J. Mainville, their head trainer.
Kind of rolled his ankle on the edge of the base as he was catching the ball and coming down. He can come out of this game. Watch his right ankle on the base. So he catches it here and then he steps across with his right foot, hits the edge, and rolls it right there. And they have to carry him off the field. Look at this.
Chris Bryant.
That is not good. Just a simple pop up to third. Who'd have thought that? Joe Madden doesn't want to make this any worse. He wants the weight off it all the way. Or somebody taller. He needs a taller trainer. There you go. Look at, he is in pain. My goodness. That just stinks.
Looks like Jamer Candelario will replace Chris Bryant.
Get that thing elevated, get ice on it right away. They'll probably take x-rays right here at the ballpark. But, I mean, a high ankle sprain. Obviously, Bryce concerned about his buddy.
Here's Jamer Candelario. We've seen a lot of him during this series already. So the batter is Michael A. Taylor with Rendon still at first, 2 outs. Taylor a foul out to first, sac fly to center. Jacob Turner is up. Strasburg at 78 pitches through his 5 innings. On deck. And Michael A got jammed on that one. John Jay. That's it for the Nats. They get an add-on run on Daniel Murphy's towering 14th home run of the year. RBI number 55. To the 6th we go. 7-3 Nationals. By T-Mobile. Another Mets pitcher injured. This time it's a strained hamstring for Robert Gesellman. Jock Peterson of the Dodgers. Haven't heard much about him because he's been so banged up. But now that he's back, the Dodgers are winning big, and he's 319 over 15 games. The Braves have won 10 of 14. They won in San Diego last night. Offense chugging along, and they remain 8.5 games behind the Nats. How about that blue sky out to the west? Absolutely gorgeous. Sunset sky, all kinds of colors. Beautiful. Steven Strasburg, top 6. First pitch changeup to Ian Happ.
How many injuries do you see on bases a year in majors?
You mean literally on bases?
Yeah, like,
or running the bases?
Remember Bryce's finger on third, Chris Bryant's ankle. It just seems like there's a lot of injuries. The center fielder for Tampa slid into first and blew his hip out. I mean, do you make flat bases? Is there a way to make the bases lower? I mean, everything else is pretty flat on the field, and then all of a sudden you got a base there and you roll your ankle, and who knows? I mean, that looked terrible. Just the way he walked off the field.
Yeah. Number 11 for Steven Strasburg.
So a 3-pitch see ya. Fastball 96, a lot of late life. I don't know, just thinking out loud. Make him a little bit lower.
The bags don't have any give to them. They are piped into the ground.
They used to be like soft and like pillows. That's where they got the nickname pillows. Remember when you buckled them in and they were canvas?
Yeah, they may look like pillows, but they're not. That is very hard rubber.
It is.
And Contreras, who hit one a mile to left, pops it up on the infield. Where is it?
Murph's pointing at it.
Yeah, helping out Trey Turner because we are in twilight time at the ballpark right now at 8:46 local time. Here's the Cubs box score. Nothing against Strasburg for 3 innings. Then the Bryant double, the Contreras homer got him going. The Almora double leading off the 5th. Then he scored on the ground ball by Mark Zagunis that was dropped by Ryan Zimmerman. Came all the way around from second. But Steven Strasburg has recovered to retire 4 in a row since then.
And don't forget Adam Eaton's injury at first base. Rolled his ankle, blew out his knee. That wouldn't have happened on softer bases.
There's John Jay. He has struck out and walked. Well, it took a long time for the appeal, and then Larry Vanover said yes he did, and the count's 1-1. Joe Madden can't believe it. And Jay, a defensive swing. Zimmerman to Strasburg. Well done. Steven stomps on the bag. And the top of the 6th is over. 5 in a row for Strasburg. He's rolling again. And the Nats by 4.
The bottom of the 6th inning. Back for the first time in 2017, Nats Pass gives you access to all 13 July home games in the standing room areas of Nats Park for just $65. Games include the big 4th of July series against the Mets and the return of Ian Desmond and the rest of the Colorado Rockies. They've been struggling lately. Visit nationals.com/NatsPass for all the details. Didn't they lose like 6 in a row? Rockies,
They are scuffling. Yeah, going into today, 7 straight. They have fallen 5.5 behind the Dodgers.
Look at these two are talking at the plate. We got a conversation going on between Contreras and Strasburg. Contreras ran by him, and we have the video of it. And I don't know if Strasburg said something to him when he popped up, but we showed you the home run trot. And now Strasburg digging in, laughing at Wilson Contreras. So this is after he popped up. And he said something to Strasburg, and we had Steven, and he didn't say anything. We watched the video, and I don't know what happened there. But it goes back to the home run trot we showed you. I guarantee you that.
Steven did a good job of ignoring him. And he's going to take that one and walk back to the dugout. So Matt Wieters eyeballing the whole situation.
And hey, I'll tell you what, Tim Timmons is doing a nice job of controlling this right now. Like, look, he didn't say anything to you. You don't say anything to him. You just sit back here and catch.
25-year-old catcher.
Look at,
there's yeah, hands on hips by Wieters. That tells you something.
And Steven talking to Mike Maddox about what he said to him.
Curveball in there to Trey Turner, who's 1 for 3 tonight. Trey hit the ball hard last time to John Jay, who again is playing way off the line in left.
I like when teams and players don't like each other. I really do. It adds something to the lovey-dovey, sterile game we have nowadays with no arguments for managers, with umpires. You can't throw at anybody. If you get in a fight, you're suspended for a month.
That's fair by the third base bag. It'll hit the short corner, and Trey Turner's at second base with one out, with his second hit tonight and the 5th of the series.
We could show you the double, or we could show you Steven and what he did. So watch Steven Strasburg. He points to the ball. He doesn't say anything, right? That we could tell. It didn't look like he said anything. And then Contreras on the way back to the dugout. We showed you that part.
Joe Maddon's going to make a double switch here.
He goes back in the dugout. Still looking. The only thing about the brawls, and I'll say this, Bob and I were looking at it before the game today. Michael Morse hasn't played a game since that brawl. He's still having post-concussion syndromes, and he might be out for the season.
Yeah, there's talk that Michael Morse is really in rough shape right now after he got blasted by his own teammate trying to get at Bryce Harper. If you need expert printing, the UPS store has you covered. Together, there's nothing we can't solve. It's our UPS store. Call to the bullpen. The only left-hander out of the Cubs bullpen is 34-year-old Brian Densing. Faced the Nats for the first time the other night. 30th appearance for the Cubs. 31 hits in 32 innings. He's a strikeout guy with 36 Ks.
Yeah, fastball, slider, curveball change. Fastball 92. Trey was ready. He is rolling. Nobody near him in the middle infield either. Now Javier Baez creeps in behind him.
Cubs have made a couple of defensive switches. We'll bring you up to date on those in a moment. First of all, it's Goodwin against Dunsing, who faced Bryce Harper the other night, gave up an infield hit. So Ian Happ, that's Tommy La Stella, who goes to second where Happ was, and he's in left. So John Jay double switched out of the game. Nats box score, a lot to look at here. Ryan Zimmerman, 2 RBIs on a base hit and a bouncing ball in the infield. Home runs, Rendon and Wieters back-to-back in the second, and Daniel Murphy recently in the 5th. 0-2 to Goodwin, who's 0 for 2 with a walk, and that's just up and away. Good take. Counts even. Swing and a miss on a big hook. Now it's lefty with Harper. 2 down. No interest at all in that pitch. Ball 1. So Bryce saw him for the first time 2 nights ago in the 8th inning. Ball ricocheted off the pitcher for an infield hit, part of Bryce's 3 for 5 night.
Not where you want that off-speed pitch to Bryce up in the zone.
Up the middle, off the pitcher, base hit. Here comes another run. Harper hustling for 2. It's a double. And the Nats lead 8-3.
A hustle double for Bryce Harper. 2nd of the night, 19th of the season, 2-out knock. So once it gets up the middle, you know it's going to score Trey Turner. But Bryce was busting it right out of the box, didn't slow down, dives into second base, helmet off, hair everywhere. This should be a good shot. Hold on, folks. There should be tons of flow right here for you. There it is. Maybe the hair got there before the hand did, but a hustle double for Bryce Harper. I love the way he plays. It's fun to watch when he's playing hard like that.
Ball ended up underneath his right back pocket.
If you challenge that, could you say like his hair got there before his hand?
Part of the body.
Yeah. Like, no, safe. His hair got in there.
But I like Bryce. He was in protection mode. He got that hand up over his ear. He knew that low throw was coming in. So he's 2 for 2 against Dunson. And here's Ryan Zimmerman with a chance to put the Nationals back up by 6. That's behind Harper. It'll be a long throw for Baez, and he got it. Great range by Javier Baez. But we said a couple of innings ago it'd be good for the Nats to add on. They've done just that.
He has been absolutely dealing from the get-go. We talk about what he's done here tonight. 11 strikeouts on the night. Nasty curveball, fastball for strikes, fastball for balls, changeup for strike 3, and I mean, whatever he's wanted to do, he's executed the game plan to perfection here tonight. Minus the home run on the curveball to Wilson Contreras, which really wasn't a bad pitch, 2-0.
All right, let's look at him over the last 2 years. Brought to you by Jeep. The bottom line, the Nats are 30 over in his 52 starts. That's amazing. 31-8. Great ERA, striking people out. And he has 11 tonight. Strasburg's high total on the year, 15 against the Padres, May 27th. He's trying to go 7 for the first time since his start after that, June 2nd at Oakland. Stevens gone 7 innings 8 times this year. Baez, a strikeout and a 6-3 double play ball. That ball was a foot inside and he swung and struck out.
Strikeout number 12 for Steven.
Nissan on the pitch cast.
And 15's his career high. Remember, he did it earlier this year, so he's 3 away from tying his career high, 4 away from a new career high. He's only at pitch number 89.
Here's Albert Almora Jr. Here's Tommy La Stella, came in on the double switch. He's next.
Oh.
Busted bat. Long throw. Turner jumps and fires. 2 down. Beautifully done.
So athletic. He really is. Everything he does is smooth, whether he's striding down the first baseline, going the hole, jump throw. What kind of cleats does he wear? Because I feel like there's a Nike Jumpman contract in his future. I can't see right there. He might be an Under Armour guy, but I feel like that's going to change in the near future with the way he goes in the hole like Derek Jeter all the time. And Steven Strasburg fired up by Trey Turner's play. Yeah, I mean, they make good cleats, but I mean, he's a poster boy right now for Jumpman.
Here's Tommy La Stella, 3 for 9 career with a solo homer against Strasburg. 1 for 3 in the series so far. Actually 2 for 4 in the series. And the 0-1. That was an uncertain swing.
Dirty changeup.
Pitch count looking good to go deeper. Swing and a miss, and there's 13. Third highest total of his career. Time to stretch. 8-3 Nats. To the bottom of the 7th we go. Happy crowd on hand right now, not the ones in blue. Freight Railworks and what they've done tonight. Murph is homered, 1 for 3. Rendon and Wieters, so all 3 guys went deep against John Lackey. 11th pitch by Brian Dunsing. Daniel Murphy faces him for the first time. Big gap in right center. By the way, the countdown is on. Daniel Murphy's at 98 hits. Soon to join Charlie Blackmon and Ender Inciarte with 100, the only other National Leaguers to do it.
Telling himself to get under the ball, get under the ball. He did it with his left hand, and he just did it with his bat. Bottom half of the baseball, swing up, hit it in the air.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Contreras sets up away, and the pitch is up and away.
I said something to him in passing the other day about hitting the ball in the air too much. And he looked at me real quick and he said, "There's no such thing as hitting the ball in the air too much."
Not today, not this season.
Just his approach.
The way the ball's carrying.
Get underneath it, hit it in the air, and do damage.
Eddie Romero out there. Bullpen was outstanding last night. 3 hitless, scoreless innings with 1 walk. And Murphy a big time cut.
Just think of all the hitting coaches I had along the way that would get on top of the ball, create backspin, look for the top half of the ball, pinch it at contact, let the ball carry and travel like, you know, a knockdown 3-iron. And now the way the game has changed, guys are looking for the bottom half of the ball, hitting it in the air, the shifts. You know, there's 3 outfielders and 4 infielders, so why would you hit it to the infield? All that stuff, the way the game has changed. And I feel like I did my son a disservice by teaching him, oh, get on top of the ball. I taught him how to hit wrong for all those years, but you know, you see him, just that little movement right there, that move, kind of like a golfer on the tee with a practice swing. He's telling himself, get under it, hit it in the air.
Murph steps out. Well,
I just think it works for certain people, Carp. It's not for everybody.
Right. You still have to have the knowledge of the strike zone, like this guy, and the ability to hit. He thought it was low. Well, maybe not. Murph just walked away as if he knew he struck out. So 1 out in the 7th. Here comes Rendon, and Dan has more.
Bob, I asked Anthony Rendon how the strong hands and wrists that we always talk about with him developed, and he credits drills that he did with a youth coach dating back to when he was 10, specifically one where he would spread his feet out wide, choke way up on the bat, and the coach would toss like 8 balls at him, rapid fire, and the only way for Rendon to catch up to all 8 balls would be to use only his hands, just kind of whip the bat back and forth. He still does a variation of that drill these days. Says that's how you control the barrel of the bat, with your hands.
Makes a lot of sense.
Well, you take the body out of the swing and just use your hands. You're so much quicker. That's why he lets it get deep. And yeah, it's not just, well, there's a lot of God-given there, but hard work too.
Perfect night for Anthony. Homer, double, left center and deep center, and then he was hit by a pitch 3rd time up after the Murphy homer. It was an off-speed one that got him in the back.
Well, he's taken a page out of Murph's book by getting closer to the plate, and this just happened during the season this year, about a month ago. And now he's making that outside pitch be middle, the middle pitch be in, and he gets quick enough to get to the inner half.
Off speed, and he just waits for it. I don't know if Anthony Rendon will get a 5th plate appearance, but he's got everything for the cycle but the triple. And his batting average inching its way up to 300.
I mean, that's the same pitch he hit for a homer earlier. It was a right-handed curveball from John Lackey. This one a left-handed curveball. And he just lets it get so deep. Such a good hitter.
Rendon at 299. And here's Matt Wieters, who's been good this year from the right side. Doesn't get a lot of ABs over there, but he's 10 for 32. And And against this lefty, he's 3 for 4 career. "11 Washington hits tonight, 9 last night, 12 the night before. That ball slams into the railing right behind the tarp.
I think a little kid might have gloved it in a Bryce Harper jersey down there with his glove. He can't be more than 6 or 7 years old. He might have saved his little sister.
Target away on 0-2. Swing and a miss. Change up. Strikeout number 3 for Brian Dunsing. Potomac Nationals back in town for the 4th. They'll start a 7-game homestand. Your July 4th ticket package includes an all-you-can-eat pregame picnic, a game ticket, and a huge fireworks blast-off. Call them, log on. Check out the Peanuts next Tuesday. Go day-night.
I'll be
morning, evening with Major League and High A baseball.
I'm going. Forget watching fireworks and having a party with my friends. I'm going.
If you win, I bet you they let you throw out the first pitch.
Oh, yeah. I bet you I wouldn't throw a strike.
And of course, the day after that, it's Winning Wednesday.
When's Dan Day? That's all I care about. You can have all those other promos. When's Dan Coco bobblehead Day? Jason Worth.
Well, yeah, Worth's part of that.
No, he's not. Just ask Dan.
Well, if the inning continues, it appears Steven Strasburg is done for the night. Romero hot in the bullpen. Strasburg at 96 pitches. Max Scherzer came out last night after 93 in 6 innings.
He was on point tonight, boy.
Taylor, ball 3. Michael A 0 for 2, but he has a sac fly for his 33rd RBI, his 14th in his last 14 games. His 13 ball games coming into this one, including 4 out of 8 in this series. Brought to you by PNC.
That's raking.
20 for 50, 8 doubles, 5 home runs.
And 3 outfield assists. Partridge in a pear tree.
Name it, he's done it. Swing and a miss. This one to the 8th. And evidently the rest of the night belongs to the bullpen. 8-3 Nats. of the Washington Nationals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Washington Nationals.
That is not Bryce Harper.
Better not be. He's playing catch in right field. Going top 8. Eddie Romero, very effective now over his last 16 innings. He's scored upon.
I was going to say he's been real good.
It's pretty good.
I was trying to beat you to that. Let's see the numbers. Yeah, you could see him relaxing more with every outing. 5-run lead. He's been great. First batter. Check it out. Fastball triple digits at times. Cut fastball in the 90s, and then the slider.
Best of all, strike one. 98. Mark Zagunis, Anthony Rizzo, and then Jeimer Candelario, who replaced Chris Bryant. I'm sure Cub fans very nervous about the prognosis on Bryant's ankle that he turned after catching a foul pop. 0-2, and now ball 1. So Steven Strasburg, 96 pitches, 70 strikes. What a ratio. 7 innings, 2 earned runs on 4 hits, 3 runs total. Swing and a miss, and there's the 14th strikeout by the Nats staff tonight. Strasburg walked only 1 batter, and John Jay was erased on a double play. The Nats road ahead, driven by your local Chevy dealers. Visit ChevyFirst.com. So 4 o'clock tomorrow, Joe Ross and John Lester will have the Friday game at St. Louis, and then we won't be back with you until Monday back here. Make a note of the time on Monday, 6 o'clock against the Mets. Fox Saturday, ESPN Sunday night. Romero faces Rizzo for the first time. Murphy's in short right field. Turner up the middle. That one breaking outside. 1-1 or 2-0, pardon me. Rizzo 0 for 3 tonight. That ball hammered. Outfielders are barely moving. Upper tank, way out there. Rizzo's 18th, his 50th RBI. It's an 8-4 game, and that's a monster home run.
I'll tell you what, that's a fearless home run. You get into a 2-0 count against a guy that throws 100, and you're standing right on top of the plate. Got a fastball in her third, knew exactly what to do with it, beat him to the point of contact, and hit it in the upper tank to make it 8-4.
Wow.
And it. Did you see who caught that?
It's Eric Hinsky, their assistant hitting coach. Strike call to Candelario, switch hitter.
That looks like the coach from Rookie of the Year. Did you see him out there?
I didn't. I missed it.
With the pork chops and.
Oh, that guy.
And the glasses. I mean, it was him.
Where that ball passed over the scoreboard's about 380. So probably 40 or 50 feet beyond that and about 25 feet above it. 1-1 pitch. Perfect on the edge. 1-2.
Now that was impressive. You throw 100 and you throw strikes, that's going to happen. That's close. It's a horrible hat. But other than that, souvenir. Way out there.
Jammed him, and that foul ball's out of play.
I'm going to show you the StatCast. I'd much rather see any give up home runs than walk people. So he's pounding the strike zone. Fell behind, but that's going to happen from time to time. That was high. How high was it?
430 feet. Five outs yet to get.
I think the actor's name is Daniel Stern, is who I'm thinking of. Carp.
Oh, yeah. No way to forget that guy. Swing and a miss. 2 down. Daniel Stern, in his script, had every baseball cliche in that movie you could ever think of. Mercedes-Benz will track this.
Strikeout number 15 tonight for the Cubs against the Nats. Steven Strasburg had 13. Eddie Romero has 2. Straight gas.
Here's Ian Happ. From the right side, hitting .286. Strasburg struck him out twice tonight after fouling him out down the left field line. This ball popped up and out of play. Above our eye level before it started its descent. Seeing a much higher ratio of fastballs to total pitches by any these days.
You throw 100, use it.
Yeah, if you got it, blast it. Hard hit, base hit. Turned around 99 there. And here's Wilson Contreras. You're up by 4, 2 outs in the 8th. And there's been chatter on the diamond tonight after this guy's home run trot back in the 4th.
Let's play baseball.
I agree. It's not like it's 8-0 or 8-2.
Still, let's play baseball.
101.
Winning trumps anything that happened here tonight, so that's why you don't want to wake anybody up and you don't want to do anything silly. And in today's game, what do you really do? 15 years ago, but today's game,
Out of play. Addison Russell. It'll be his 3rd pinch hitting appearance of the series if this inning continues. He's 0 for 2. Pretty good 0-2 pitch to stand him up.
yeah, 100 in, I'd say.
Blake Treinen will be next. When will that be? Pitcher spot due up first for the Nats, bottom 8.
Keep throwing it. Surprised that Contreras has been able to foul off elevated triple digits. Look where the last 3 pitches have been. He's been able to make contact on them. Usually right-handed hitters have trouble with that high fastball up there. That high at least.
1-2 pitch, and he fouls another.
Well, he's in swing mode. Throw one higher than high here, if you can. You know, if it's a video game and you can order one right about eye high. He's swinging.
Might Wieters think about hooking him in the dirt?
Just make it a ball because he's swinging.
Yeah. That's higher. 2-2. Contreras 2 homers in the series. Had that leadoff thing Monday night.
It's a good fight going on right here, folks. This is a good one. What pitch we got coming here? 9th pitch coming. These two are locking horns. Six foul balls in the sequence.
In the air, playable. Turner under it. Andy Romero gives up a homer and a hit, but that's it for the Cubs. So the Nets by 4.
You buy Miller Lite. How about Bryce Harper's night tonight? He's hit the ball hard every single time up. Got robbed by Anthony Rizzo at first. So you saw the first double. Then how about this hustle double? A 2-out knock, scored Trey Turner, diving into third. We just wanted to show you the hair one more time. Love when Bryce busted out of the batter's box. Ooh, landed on the baseball. Couldn't have felt good there. I didn't see that the first time. But playing hard, hustling, doing his thing. It's fun to watch.
Hair on fire.
Hair on fire.
Bottom 8. Second appearance of the series for Justin Grimm. He faced one batter a couple of nights ago and got Ryan Zimmerman on a ground ball in the 8th inning. Tonight he will face Stephen Drew, who's been amazing. And this guy, first batter's faced pretty tough too. Drew is a pinch hitter now, 6 for 13 with 5 RBIs. And Stephen is 10 for his last 20, whether starting or pinch hitting.
They should do that for us, for the broadcasters. Quality opens, 4 of their last 22.
Drew 1 for 2 against Grimm. I'm trying to think of something. Matt Albers.
First camera faced, 1 for the last 30.
And Drew with a high fly ball out to left center. That's Almora's baseball, 1 out.
MLB.com At Bat is your #1 mobile app for live Nats baseball. Stay connected with a fully customizable experience. Get Nationals home screen icons, app features, as well as game day, live game video highlights, radio broadcasts, StatCast, and news. Download MLB.com At Bat today.
Trey Turner 2 for 4. Having a good series, 5 out of 9. That ball bounced a couple of feet out in front of home plate. So last 30 coming into tonight. Trey adds on to that. Very impressive. In this series, 4 runs scored, 4 stolen bases, 2 walks, 5 hits. Everything a leadoff man should do, plus playing outstanding defense.
Tell you what, it was a simple observation today around the batting cage. I don't know that I've seen this team as loose as they were today and having more fun than they had today during batting practice. You know, usually they're pretty workmanlike. Yeah, they come in there, they get their hacks in, they get the job done. But today, for whatever reason, they were just all in a great mood. Everybody joking with everybody laughing around the cage, getting their work done still. But I thought to myself, these guys are having fun, and they should. They're enjoying being in first place. They're enjoying playing really good baseball, and they're enjoying each other most importantly, and that's what good teams do.
It's a great group of guys. Everybody says that. And I have to think, and check out the 3-2 pitch. And they walk Turner. FP, I have to think that Adam Eaton hanging around the ball club right now has something to do with that as well. The guys just adore him. A lot of time in the training room getting his work done. So here we go with Turner aboard. Go for the jugular, right? You're up by 4. What's there to lose?
Yeah, you're up by 4. Take him on a slam range. The steal is definitely in play here right now.
Trey is the league's leading base stealer with 32, 1 ahead of Billy Hamilton. Cameron Maybin of the Angels, only 24 to lead the American League. So you're looking at the #1 guy in the major leagues right now.
Who was on the DL with a hamstring injury. Don't forget about that.
Yeah, correct.
Might have 42, 43 by now. 40-100.
Itching to go, but he's holding. Ball 1. Contreras, his numbers 13 for 44 throwing out opposing runners. That's 30%. Has Jock Jones said yet, what are you still doing here?
Probably.
1-0 pitch. Long hold. There he goes. And a foul.
He wasn't even taking a strike for him there.
Hey, Nats fans, if you want to see some behind-the-scenes photos, follow @MASSandNationals on Instagram for ballpark shots, insider videos, and the latest in haberdashery. That's @MASSandNationals on Instagram. You were out at the Nats Extra set recently.
I was. I had fun.
Dan Coco.
That was scary.
There he goes again. That's a stolen base, number 33.
Third stolen base for Trey Turner. No throw again. How many of the 33 haven't drawn a throw is a stat I might want to know for tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'll guarantee you it's double digits.
Wilson Contreras, no chance there, trying to play it off to the side after the ball hopped.
Do they keep track of that? Because I think it'd be interesting. I just sent everybody into a frenzy in the truck. Do they have that? What? Huh?
2-1 to Goodwin. Fastball away. Ball 3.
Because the same full-blown panic that's made him reach base, what, like 10 times via the air this year, happens with catchers too. They try to rush their throw because he's so fast, gets good jumps, and usually there's no throw because they drop it.
And Goodwin a fly to center. Almora getting his momentum behind this throw, and Trey will stop. Perfect job of hitting the cutoff man. It's up to Bryce Harper with 2 outs. First base is open, and they might send him right down to first base as soon as he gets near.
Is it?
I don't know why they'd pitch to him there. They're letting him dig in.
Well, he'd be at first already if they were walking him.
Harper 0 for 2 career with 2 walks against Justin Grimm.
He had 2-out double his last at bat to score Trey from second base. So
Ryan Zimmerman 1 for 7 against Grimm. And a play was on with the shortstop, but Grimm delivered it, and Baez was totally out of position.
well, that was a pickoff throw behind Trey. You saw Wilson Contreras coming up throwing.
So for the catcher, huh?
Yeah, that was a pickoff play from the catcher to the shortstop. Ball fouled off. They couldn't do it.
Harper jacks one foul.
I just can't believe they're pitching to him. I mean, it might work out, and he might not score Trey Turner or get a hit. But I'm just shocked with the night he's having, the way he's swinging it. First base open and 2 outs. And hey, Ryan Zimmerman can hit. We all know he's got great numbers, but we've seen this time and time again, the protection that Ryan Zimmerman is providing for Bryce Harper. He's getting pitched to in situations that he never did before. But you still have that right-on-right matchup in your back pocket that we've seen managers not use, regardless of who's on deck.
Harper 2 RBIs tonight, 58 on the year. He's collected 2 more hits, giving him 86. So he's right on the edge of the top 10 in the league in that department.
This is just how well built this lineup is. How firmly in place 3, 4, 5 are, and how well they're all working together. Example right now. I mean, he might bounce 3 here.
Counts back even. Harper a tapper, right side. Race on to the bag. Out on a close play. And if they hadn't gotten him, Trey Turner was going to score from second base on that. So a little excitement at the end of the inning.
Are they going to look at it?
That's dug out. Maybe.
Bryce didn't argue, and he'd tell you the story. Hustling again, though. You got to love the way Bryce Harper's playing here tonight.
Nat Strand 7 on the night, 3 outs to get to take command of the series. proudly serving the armed forces and their families for over 80 years. Federally insured by NCUA and by Ocean City, Maryland. Put your vacation days to good use in Ocean City. Book now at OCOcean.com. Gorgeous night in D.C. Great time for the Nats' 47th win of the year and their 22nd at home. 3 outs to get for Matt Albers. Johnny and Ray are getting ready. We invite you to tune into the Nats Extra Postgame Show, presented by W.B. Mason. Matt Albers closed things out last night with a couple of outs in the ninth when the Nats won 6-1.
29th appearance, 3-1, 188. See the opponent's average. Bueno. Fastball slider changed the 3 pitches. Fastball 92, 2-seam fastball, lots of arm side run.
Nats up by 4, throw strikes. 1 pitch, Murphy, 1 out. And that was their called up catcher today, Victor Caratini, replacing Miguel Montero on their roster. Baez and Almora the next 2. Baez against Albers' career 2 for 2.
Should be a healthy rip here if it's a strike.
Yep.
2-0 slider. I like it.
Right in there with 94, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Cubs started the night 1 game back of Milwaukee in the Central. They're in a tie game at Cincinnati right now. A loss would knock the Cubs back to the 500 mark.
Division's going to be interesting to watch second half.
Here comes Trey. On the run, Baez can run, and Turner's faster. 2 down.
Jump man. Jump man, jump man, jump man. So coming across the middle, gets the short hop. Watch him trap it right there. Jump, exchange, all in the air. Trey Turner does not play on the ground, folks. He plays about 2 feet above sea level.
31,072 watching an entertaining offensive show in Strasburg. Brilliant on a swing by Almora. Right field. Here comes Bryce. Just unable to reach it. And
Man,
please don't get hurt with 2 outs in the ninth.
Wow,
4-run game.
I think when you play like this, you don't get hurt. I mean, the way he's playing tonight has just been fun to watch. We haven't seen this in a while. I mean, he is playing some inspired baseball here tonight, right out of his uni. And Max is thinking the same thing you were, Carp.
Be careful.
Don't get hurt. Don't mess with my season. I love it though, man. I love it. That fires me up.
And the 0-1 to Almora. One and two. Matt Albers working quickly here. I look up in the ninth inning. I expected to be Max. 2-2.
Well, then we'd be in a time machine, which would be cool, I think.
He got the job done last night for his 9th win. Steven Strasburg 1 strike away from his 9th win. Ball 3. And he threw him a slider that missed. Cubs alive, hanging by a thread here, and Tommy La Stella will be next, and Mike Maddox to the mound. Day game tomorrow, don't forget, 4:05 first pitch. John Lester, 2-1 career and 4 starts against the Nats. He's 5-4 with a 383, 151 career wins. And Joe Ross, 70 runs of support his last 10 games. He's 4-3. Johnny and Ray, 3:30 tomorrow. Tommy La Stella on a double switch, came in 6th inning to play second. He was Steven Strasburg's final strikeout victim, ending the 7th. Number 13. Nats will give the runners second base.
Matt Wieder's probably going to blame Matt Albers for that one after the game.
Oh boy. One ball, one strike.
Is that too soon?
Well, nobody's getting DFA'd tomorrow, I can guarantee you that. Good line though, 1-1. There's a pop-up, left side, out of play. Cubs catchers huddling there. Albers has it, and so do the Nats. They're going to go for 3 out of 4 against the world champions tomorrow.
With a little luck, they could be going for a sweep tomorrow against the Cubs. They'll take a split for sure, and they'll try to win a series. Great job by Steven Strasburg tonight, and a big win for the Nats.
Holding Chicago down on 6 hits. Good defense, and Strasburg was fantastic. He's a 9-game winner.